I'd like to have a few words here I'd like to talk about. I want to talk about something that was touched for me last year. I want to talk about a sailor. His name is Freddie Jones. Me and Patty have four children, 3 daughters, and one of my daughters lives up in Port Huron, Michigan. And she gave me a call in May of 2017. And she was telling me about a local funeral for a veteran there in Port Huron. She proceeded to tell me it was a World War II veteran whose remains were identified through DNA. So I did some follow-through, and I got with our road captain, Patty Starkman of the American Legion Riders, and we put a ride together. We went up to the Marysville Post 449 up in Marysville, Michigan. And we rode with the American Legion Post into the Marysville, into Port Huron to escort Freddie Jones in the funeral. I'll tell you a little bit about Freddie Jones. Freddie Jones was a machinist mate. He enlisted in the Navy in April 1929. He was only 17 years of age. He served in the Navy for the next dozen years, sailing all over the world. He then transferred to the USS Oklahoma 2 years before the attack in Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941. Jones was 30 years old when he died aboard the U.S. Oklahoma, which was one of the 8 battleships during the attack in Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. 5 torpedoes from Japanese planes slammed into its hull, capsizing the ship within 10 minutes. Jones, Freddie Jones, the sailor, was among hundreds of men trapped in the Oklahoma. The attack that killed 429 on the USS Oklahoma December 7, 1941, along with 2,400 other servicemen on that day. For years, he was buried in an unknown serviceman in Hawaii. His DNA was finally confirmed 75 years later. First, Jones was entombed in the oily water in Pearl Harbor, then a mass grave until his DNA was confirmed, and returning to his final resting in his hometown with full military honors, so deserved, in Port Huron, Michigan. As invited veterans, we paid our last respect to Sailor Jones. We did our final salute. As we're walking out the funeral home, a fellow veteran and dear friend, Frank Simon, approached me, and he informed me. He said, "Mike, they want us to be pallbearers for Sailor Jones." All of us went quiet. It was so humbling and honoring for the moment for us. I struggled getting through it, I'll be honest with you. I kept my military bearing, and it's a memory that will stay with me forever. Being a pallbearer for a World War II hero on the USS Oklahoma, killed December 7th, 1941. His granddaughter was still alive. We got to meet her granddaughter, Helen Cosner, and she's so grateful. 300 people showed up for this sailor to pay their final respects. So my message is out of this story is, let's realize that we're from a neighbor, a friend, or a family member. We're just a family member away from knowing a lost veteran. Always reach out to them. When they reach out to you, please respond and reach back out to them. Remember, death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love heals a memory no one can steal. Now we're going to do the wreath presentation, and I got a list here, guys.